Our next eminent speaker is Mr. Shantanu Rooj, founder and CEO of TeamLease EdTech India. Yes, this person is a well-known personality in education industry in India and although globally. It may be easy to build oneself, but hard to build others. Here is the man who is patient enough to elevate the youngsters. His vision is to make India unemployed. He worked in HCL, and with that experience, he has started his first venture, Paradigm Infotech Limited. Yes, he has successfully landed Paradigm in IPO in 2005. His another brainchild is Broadline, which started off as a broadband internet service company with more than 200 institution groups as clients. TeamLease EdTech, his current venture, a learning solution company, is working with more than 40 large Indian universities and 500 corporates. He continuously mentors new projects that are innovative, progressive, and scalable. GenuineIN welcomes you and waits to hear your words. Mr. Shantanu Rooj, the board is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So as we talk about the employer's expectation in this new world of work, it's important for us to realize what's actually happening in their world of organizations. The change is all in the air. Disruption is all around us. If you look at the top 10 companies by market value in the list of Fortune 500 companies, you will realize that almost 60% of these companies did not actually exist in the previous list, which is about a decade back. Which brings me to us understanding that the life expectancy of a Fortune 500 company is actually coming down from 65 years in 1935 to about 15 years today. The list is changing faster than we can all fathom. The world is actually changing very, very fast. Technology is disrupting at a scale and speed which we can't fathom. And I can give you many, many examples about the way the world is actually changing all around us. And it's important for us to know this because unless we understand what's changing for the employers, it's difficult to understand that why are they changing their preferences. Look at any industry, and I can give you so many examples. Look at the oil industry, for example. The oil industry is getting completely disrupted by one single technology which got discovered, which was the discovery of the shale gas. Discovery of the shale gas, which actually permits companies to drill vertically deep and then dig horizontally to dip into the smaller pockets of oil and suck them inside and pump them out, actually made United States the second largest producer of oil in this world, just after Russia. With that, so many things started changing. Fracking as a technology actually changed the global politics, the global balance of power. The US no more cares about the Middle East. Vietnam is into trouble because of the problem of all of these, the way the oil industry is actually changing all around us. It's actually changing the balance of payments. All of these things are becoming into trouble. Venezuela is actually gone because of all these things. Look at the automobile industry, for example. Automobile industry all this while was driven by the IC engine. The IC engine actually was made out of 2,000 moving parts. Today, it's close to about $2 trillion industry. 1 in 6 jobs across the world belongs to the automotive industry. This automotive industry is being completely disrupted by the invention of the electric vehicle. Right? The electric vehicle has only 20 moving parts. Right? The world produced last year about 90 million IC engine vehicles and also produced 1.5 million electric vehicles. I've been told that by 2030, 60% of the vehicles in the world will become electric vehicles. How does it change the entire automotive industry? Look at all the 1 person out of 6 people in the entire world who are employed belongs to the automotive industry. If that industry starts getting disrupted, all the ancillary industry is getting disrupted, it actually puts a lot of disruption in this particular industry. Right? Things are actually changing very, very fast for them. Look at the utility industry, for example. Traditionally, electricity was produced by burning fossil fuel, coal, gas, all of these. Right? And that is getting disrupted by the renewable power. All of this while the world produced conventional mode of electricity. It was produced in a particular way, converted into DC power. It actually had to get transmitted over long cables. There's a lot of wastages in this particular cases, a lot of transmission losses. All of these things started happening. This entire utility industry is getting disrupted by the renewable industry, the solar, the wind energy, right? And if that starts disrupting this industry, imagine what is going to happen to the employers, the organizations, the large players in the utility industry. It was told that last year, UK had almost moved to 100% of renewables. It said that Europe has actually moved to 30% of the power in Europe is coming from renewables. So if you look at this industry of utility, is actually getting disrupted extremely fast by the invention of the renewable power. Any other industry, so look at manufacturing, for example, right? Manufacturing all this while used a reductive format of manufacturing where from the ore we made metal sheets, from the metal sheets we used to cut those metal sheets and make different vehicles, right? We can make cars, we can make a lot of these devices, all of this made of metal sheets. The entire reductive format of manufacturing is disrupted by an invention of a new technology called the 3D printing. The 3D printing brings an additive format of manufacturing. There's a large machine connected to a computer. You feed the computer with a design. The design goes to this 3D printer. The printer has got several small containers in which you've got plastics, metals, and all of these items which are required to manufacture that. The metal starts putting layers and layers of those components one above the other, and hey, you have a bespoke car being manufactured. Right? I've been told that there's a company in Bangalore in India where you can actually go and make a bespoke car. You can go there and get a car designed for yourself. This designer ultimately transmits this design to a 3D printer, and this company actually manufactures a car for you. If actually manufacturing gets disrupted by this technological 3D printing, this is going to disrupt a lot of these people who have set up these large manufacturing setups, supply chains, and transmissions, and all of these things. And most of these things that I'm telling you are all not fairy tales. It's actually happening. I've been told that in Netherlands, they have actually 3D printed a complete bridge there. It actually exists there, right? Look at biosciences, for example. The bioscience is getting again disrupted by so many different technologies. Today, you can actually go and create bespoke medicines for yourself. Every human being, for example, has a unique DNA architecture. Once the DNA structure is understood and fed into the large supercomputers, through a big data analysis, people can actually understand the way a particular drug would react when you take that drug. And hence, the world is moving towards something called a bespoke medicine, where studying your DNA structure, a specific medicine gets created, which only works for you and works actually very efficiently. You're aware of the genome sequencing, which is a technology which is already there, right? So people are being able to customize the people that they want to create. I've been told that just of late, some of these scientists actually created a ship inside a laboratory. Right? Genome sequencing is actually a reality. Robotic surgeries. Today, a very high quality surgeon is being able to make a surgery sitting thousands of kilometers away and use a robot to do high precision surgery. Today, they don't have to cut down your entire abdomen if they have to do a bypass surgery today. The robot goes and makes a small incision and actually goes inside and makes a very, very precise surgery for yourself. Big data and artificial intelligence, it's actually disrupting this entire medical science system. One small drop of blood of yours, put it into the computers and the big data world, there is a pattern matching which goes on. And through this pattern matching, sure if I'm also hearing, yeah, okay. So this pattern matching and ultimately people are actually being able to read the entire sequencing in my blood. So all of these things is disrupting many, many, many industries that's happening all around us. Look at financial services industry, for example. The entire fintech revolution all across the world is changing the way banks work all this while, right? So if you look at in the last 10 years, the bank's balance sheets have gone up by 10x. But in terms of their manpower, it has just gone up by 5%. Use of technology is changing the way banking is done, the way financial technology is done. Right? Artificial intelligence, look at the algorithms. that it has got algorithms, it's building algorithms to actually being able to see through the computer of the system there. Computer vision is actually becoming a reality today. Robots, for example, they're disrupting so many things all around us, right? So I've been told that there's this company in China where there is a receptionist who is actually not a human being, but a robot sitting there, right? And you can't hardly make out that it's actually a machine that you're talking to. Here in Bangalore, in one of these Foxconn factories, there are about 60,000 girls who actually assemble these iPhones there, right? Just about 6 months back, these girls asked for a 1,000 rupees pay raise, 1,000 rupees pay raise. And in the next 7 days' time, this entire 60,000 girls batch got replaced with robots who are actually assembling these iPhones. Because assembling these iPhones actually required dexterity of fingers, and these robots are extremely good with that. Actually, all of these technologies, machine learning, artificial intelligence, robotization, and so many other technologies all around us is actually disrupting many things all around us. The world is moving from an ownership-driven economy to a sharing economy. Uber is a very classic example. My car is actually parked for 90% of the times. Only 10% of the times that's the time that I actually drive this particular car. So why do I need to own it? Why do I need to pay for the insurance? Why do I need to have a driver for doing that? Companies like Uber, companies like Airbnb is changing the world from an ownership-driven economy to a sharing-driven economy. And these are all they're not fairy tales anymore. They're actually realities which are actually changing the world all around us. What does it mean to all of these job seekers and the people who are just entering the workforce? We at TeamLease EdTech, we work with about 50 odd universities. 50 of the largest universities work with us and aligned to our mission of making India employable. We have started realizing that the employment today is changing from a lifetime contract to a taxi cab relationship. Employers are looking at a relationship which is short, which is finite, which is intimate, but it is for a definite term. Right? There are no more lifelong contracts anymore. And as the life expectancy of those companies are changing, life expectancy of an employee inside an organization is also changing there. Today, in this new world of work, we realize that soft skills matter more than hard skills. Curiosity is valued more than intelligence today. Intangible assets are valued more than physical assets. Look at the Fortune 500 list today, Russell, and look at the way they're valued. It's not GE who has the highest amount of physical assets on the top of the chart today. You see the likes of Facebook's on the top 100 places showing up there. Intangible assets are becoming more important than physical assets. Learning to learn is becoming a very important trait that employers are looking for. Knowing something is not good enough because Google knows everything. In this world where Google knows everything, just knowing something is not good enough. Learning to learn is becoming a very important trait. Employers believe that it's important to be consistent. Consistency is becoming a more valuable trait than becoming hot and cold. You can't be someday very hot and someday very cold. Consistently remaining warm is becoming more valuable times to come. So from an employer's perspective, they're looking at a set of newcomers who come and join their workforce, who are digitally native, who are somebody who are digitally conversant, who are adaptive, who can change themselves to different demands of the industry, to different challenges, who are innovative in their thinking. People are looking at people who can actually solve problems which actually face in these organizations. Rote learning has no place in today's organizations there. Cognitive reasoning, teamwork are the type of traits that organizations are looking for, right? Because people do not know. It's very difficult to predict the future, but hence the best thing that you can do is to make sure that you make yourself worthy of it. And the best way to do that is, we at TeamLease say that if you want to be lucky, you have to ensure that you are at the right time at the right place. Since you do not know what is the right time, you have to be at the right place, keep on hanging there. When the rocket takes off, you sit in the nose of the rocket and you are up there in the air. When I say that being there at the right place means make the right type of investments. And for a newcomer, who actually wants to enter the world of work, the only best investment that you can make for yourself is to ensure that you are continuously investing in learning, because the world is moving from a 20-20-20 format of learning to a world where lifelong learning is becoming very, very important. The future is unknown. Future is unknown for organizations. Future is unknown for all of us. And since we do not know what is coming up, organizations are looking for people who are multi-skilled, who are adaptive, can be put to various different positions, can handle various different job problems. That's what we believe in TeamLease EdTech. So education will always remain important, but the CV, which is brimming with multiple experiences and evidence of lifelong learning, is something which is going to hold the key. That's what I want to bring on table, Indrani. Hope I kept up to my time limit.
Thank you, Shantanu. I have a question for you.
Please go ahead.
How different are the employers' expectations in different parts of the world? Is it same all over the world, or it depends upon the region and the country?
So, Indrani, my belief is that the world is today a very small place. Because of the advent of internet, all of us so well connected that I can actually connect with all of you on the screen today. And there's very little differentiation amongst employers. Today, the supply chains are global, the customer services are global, the markets are global, employees are global. Today, we are not limited to physical restraints anymore. And hence, I believe the challenges are also global. Employer preferences are also global. That's what I believe.
Thank you. One more question. You expect the employees to be ready. I am asking you, are the employers ready for this pandemic situation to adjust to this new outcome of students, or the individuals, or the jobs keepers?
So, Indrani, actually the pandemic, if you look at events like this pandemic, actually do not create any new trends. They actually accelerate the existing trends. Digitalization was anyway changing the world. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotization, and big data was anyway there. It just accelerated the use of all of these things. It just brought things faster forward. In India, we kept on saying that digitalization in education, possibly whatever would have happened 20 years down the line, is happening today. It's just brought forward things. Today, organizations need to be on their toes and need to be continuously thinking, continuously evolving. That's the need of the hour. Dinosaurs did not die because the world changed. They died because they refused to change. Organizations who do not wake up to this reality will start facing extinction and will become a case study in history someday. And organizations who understand this reality are the only ones who will survive and thrive. So I'm sure most organizations who you will see in the next 10 years in the Fortune 500 companies are the only ones who will stand up to this reality and start changing themselves.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Shantanu. Your entertaining speech gave us a new shape for learning, and sure, we will learn and learn and learn.
Thank you so much.
Now, thank you.
Excellent, excellent, Shantanu.
Thank you.
Excellent speech.